parties exercised their right to petition before the Supreme Court, whose proceedings and determination not only gave comfort to the doubtful, but also restored faith in our electoral and judicial institutions. Many countries aspire to have moments like this, and we as Kenyans should not take ours for granted. This is the third election under the Constitution of Kenya 2010 and the second peaceful transition. We have had a robust conversation about this moment and what it demands of us. And we have sought to answer the question whether this is a constitutional moment or an economic moment. In this process, we have demonstrated the maturity of our democracy, the robustness of our institutions, and the resilience of the Kenyan people. My competitors and I mobilized vigorously to offer the citizens of Kenya the most appealing agenda as well as the best roadmap to achieving it. I remain firm in the conviction that all sides in the last election did their best to present a pathway to actualize the people's aspirations. The just concluded election was a choice between competing ideas towards the Kenya we want. Elections and democracy entail unifying competition, not divisive rivalry. The performance of our security services, the performance of the IEBC and the judiciary was put to severe test. By and large, these institutions lived up to our expectations. We can only aspire to do better in future, and I give my undertaking that my administration shall work to ensure that the bar is raised even higher for the next general elections. A significant dividend of our electoral and democratic process is the tremendous achievement we made in breaking the glass ceiling by enhancing the participation of women in leadership. 7 women were elected as governors, up from 3 in the last election. 29 women were elected as members of the National Assembly, up from 23 in 2017. 7 women deputy governors and 3 women senators were elected as well. It is very clear that the election had many winners, far exceeding those who were actually elected. By far, the largest winners of this election is the people of Kenya. We have done well as a nation. We have blazed the trail in an increasingly challenging environment where democracy is consistently on trial. We have come a long way in our nation's journey to freedom, and going by our most recent performance in these elections, we conclude in confidence that we are almost home. Allow me, ladies and gentlemen, to single out the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission for special commendation for the courage to do the right thing under exceptionally challenging circumstances. As an institution, they have set a new standard in public service that is uncompromising, professional, and exemplary, while raising the bar of integrity of our public officials and public institutions. It is appropriate to single out for special mention the chair of the IEBC, Wafula Chebukati, for standing firm, resisting bribery, resisting intimidation, and resisting blackmail, and doing the right thing. It is also appropriate to celebrate our judiciary for sustaining its tradition of boldly giving much-needed guidance, especially in allaying post-election anxieties and resolving grievances in a sensitive, credible, and authoritative manner. Judiciary's articulation of the aspirations and standards enshrined in the Constitution has deepened our democracy and institutionalized our rule of law. Our judiciary is now, without a doubt, Kenya's biggest constitutional dividend. The judiciary has successfully arbitrated 3 election disputes and defended the nation against formidable onslaughts on our Constitution. Our judiciary has demonstrated transparency in its proceedings and decision-making, thereby consolidating its independence, authority, and legitimacy. I also take this opportunity to say a special word of appreciation to our security services for a commendable job at a critical moment in our nation. Their services and heroic sacrifices they have made beyond the call of duty has kept our nation safe. I am aware that our uniformed services effectively resisted concerted attempts to foment unrest and subvert the will of the people. My special commendation also goes to all our candidates who contested various positions. Their participation enhanced competition and enriched public debate that underpins democratic choice. Special recognition goes to my worthy competitor and friend, the Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, and his running mate, the Honorable Martha Wangari Karua, and all the other candidates who mounted a vigorous and determined campaign. I assure them that their supporters will be my constituents. I will work with all Kenyans, irrespective of who they voted for. Our special gratitude also goes to millions of Kenyans in the Hustler movement for tirelessly Very good. Very good. Our special gratitude also goes to millions of Kenyans in the Hustler movement for tirelessly mobilizing for the campaign and executing a historic revolutionary feat, perhaps as great as the daring exploits of our legendary freedom fighters. This includes all our campaign volunteers, agents, mobilizers, and those who contributed whatever they could in whatever form to keep the movement going. I also appreciate our religious community and institutions for their support, their prayers, and encouragement. I commend the church in particular, and in equal measure, the Islamic religious leadership for their considerable support to us and our campaign. We also appreciate them for continuously exploring avenues for interfaith understanding and solidarity, which have gone a long way to enhance tolerance and cohesion in Kenya. Faith-based institutions continue to play a noble and indispensable role in our communities, and I commit that we will enhance our partnership, build on our collaboration, and enhance our support to them. At this juncture, it is important for me to speak directly to the youth, and especially those who participated in one way or another in the election campaigns. I commend you for resisting pressure and enticement to be misused as agents of conflict and disruption during the electioneering period. I also congratulate those who went out to seek various roles within campaigns and election, thus playing their part in keeping Kenya's democracy robust. Even if your candidate did not win, your participation in the activities of our political parties, campaigns, and elections is the beginning of political internship. My political journey, similarly, began as a young campaign volunteer, fresh out of University 92. Your experience and lessons learned should form the basis for your leadership journey going into the future. We have all, therefore, emerged out of this context united and alive to the issues that are common to all of us. We should remain conscious that we have all been elected to work together in ensuring that our children go to school, our people have food and decent health care, and our young people have jobs, and our workers have dignified livelihoods. For we believe strongly that every hustle matters. Dreams and ambitions live in the hearts of Kenyans who struggle daily against daunting with nothing except stubborn hope. Some succeed, others fail, while others also do not even get a decent chance. Before the nation and the world today, I stand with great humility and profound joy as a living testimony, willingness to work hard, and a commitment to a vision. Dreams can become reality in the fullness of time. I promise to throw open every door of opportunity and to keep every door open until success stories become the norm rather than the exception, and urge all other leaders to do the same so that we can together expand opportunity and chance for many of our citizens. Ladies and gentlemen, we should consolidate our success in the just concluded elections and enhance the capacity and performance of our governance institutions. The innovative deployment of technology to secure election results has been the Electoral Commission's pioneering breakthrough. Going forward, we will support the IEBC's institutional capacity so as to expand the deployment of technology to cover all elections, from those of MCA to those of the President. I also believe that there is tremendous opportunity for IEBC to support electoral processes in our political parties as part of the broader democratic development. To consolidate the place of the judiciary in our constitutional and democratic dispensation, my administration will respect judicial decisions while we cement the place of Kenya as a country anchored on democracy and the rule of law. Our campaign for financial independence of the judiciary has paid off with the implementation of the Judiciary Fund on July 1 this year. My administration will scale up the budgetary allocation to the judiciary by an additional 3 billion shillings annually for the next 5 years. These resources will support the bottom-up scaling of justice by increasing the number of small claims courts from the current 25 to 100. We will also work with the judiciary to build high courts in the remaining 7 counties and magistrates' courts in the remaining 123 sub-counties, and support their ongoing digitization program. These interventions will empower the judiciary to adjudicate and expeditiously conclude corruption cases, commercial disputes, and all other matters, thereby enhancing access to justice and efficiency in our judiciary. To further demonstrate my commitment to the independence of the judiciary, this afternoon I will appoint the 6 judges already nominated for appointment to the Court of Appeal, which was done 3 years ago by the Judicial Service Commission. And tomorrow, I shall preside over their swearing in so that they can get on with the business of serving the people of Kenya. As required by Article 245 of the Constitution, the Inspector General of Police is mandated to exercise independent command over the National Police Service. The service's operational autonomy, however, has been undermined by the continued financial dependence on the office of the President. This situation is going to change. As I address you, one moment. Good. There we are. As I address you, I have instructed that the instruments conferring financial autonomy to the National Police Service by transferring their budget from the Office of the President and designating the Inspector General as the accounting officer be placed this afternoon. Financial independence of the police will give impetus to the fight against corruption and end the political weaponization of the criminal justice system, an undertaking I made to the people of Kenya. I understand the deep fissures and low morale in the public service. The intimidation that was visited on IEBC commissioners and staff during the election was also meted out on various other agencies and staff in public service. This is now, I assure all public officers that my administration will respect their professional service, and no public servant, even chiefs and their assistants, will be required to run political errands for any political party or formation. Ladies and gentlemen, we anchored our campaign on the platform of the economy, on job creation and the well-being of the people of Kenya, and we have been working continuously on the measures to bring down the cost of living. Our people are confronted daily with increasingly unaffordable prices, especially food and transport. In our economic forums across the country, during the campaign, citizens consistently shared their anxiety, their pain, and their fury on this matter. It therefore calls on us for urgent and decisive resolution. The interventions in place have not borne any fruit. On fuel subsidy alone, the taxpayers have spent a whopping 144 billion, 60 billion in the last 4 months alone. If the subsidy continues to the end of the financial year, it will cost taxpayers 280 billion, entire national government development budget. Additionally, there was an attempt to subsidize unga in the run-up to the election, a program that cobbled up 7 billion in 1 month. In addition to being very costly, consumption subsidy interventions are prone to abuse. They distort markets and create uncertainty, including artificial shortages of the very products they seek to subsidize. The cost of living challenges are related in our respectful submission to production. Our strategy to bring down the cost of living is dedicated on empowering producers. The forecast for maize harvest this year is 40 million bags. The main cause of the decline in production is the high cost of farm inputs. Our priority intervention, therefore, is to make fertilizer, good quality seed, and other agricultural inputs affordable and available. For the short rains, we have already made arrangements to make 1.4 million bags of fertilizer available at Kenya shillings 3,500 for a 50-kilogram bag, down from the current 6,500.